Today's soap video is a collaboration video led by Glinda. The theme of the collaboration is gemstones. After reading the description of what is required for this collaboration, it's kind of almost a free-for-all, but the theme is just gemstones. So something that I have never done before, I'm doing for this soap, and that is clear melt and pour for the embeds. Now for the base of my soap, I'm going to use every type of clay that I have because clay comes from the earth. Gemstones come from the earth. Bentonite clay, Kaolin clay, Mediterranean red clay, some rose clay, and finally some French green clay. So I'm just going to add them in layers, kind of like the earth has lots of layers in it. The entire portion of the batter is going to have pumice powder in it because pumice powder is made from rock. We'll also have sugar in the entire batch of soap. Now I don't really have much of a connection with the fragrance oil for this soap, but I'm using passion fruit nectarine. It's a nice fruity, happy smell. I've got 6 different colored gemstones I'm putting in this soap, which lots of colors is very happy. So passion fruit nectarine, happy colors in a clay-based soap. Well, I ordered this big old batch of clear melt and pour. Did not expect it to come in a blue bag. So some of the main countries that mine gemstones is Canada, Russia, Guyana, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Brazil, Ghana, Congo, Tanzania, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Lesotho, South Africa, and Australia. The first colored stone we're going to make is pink, using Pink Vibrance mica powder. Here's a list of pink gemstones. I think my favorite of these pink gemstones is the rubellite. So here I begin creating the embeds for this gemstone soap. I'm going to be making 6 different colored gemstones. Then next we're going to be making some purple gemstones. I think my favorite of these is the violet sapphire. There are around 200 different natural gemstones. 4 of the stones are referred to as precious stones, and all the other stones are semi-precious. Precious stones are particularly rare and beautiful gemstones. The 4 are diamonds, sapphire, ruby, and emerald. Then we're going to be making some blue gemstones. Now there are a lot of blue gemstones. Blue is my favorite color, and if I had to pick a favorite blue gemstone of this big list, I think the one that catches my eye the strongest is the blue sapphire. Next, we're going to be using some green vibrance and making green gemstones. Now, of all the gemstone lists I have, green is the largest. And of all of these, which one would be my favorite is the peridot. Next, we're going to be making a white gemstone. Of these white gemstones, my favorite, I suppose I'm going to go with the white zircon. When gemstones are mined, they are naturally very rough stones with irregular shapes. And sometimes they're not even sparkly or beautiful. And then some yellow gemstones. And the one that really catches my eye is the yellow beryl. So they are carved and polished into specific shapes called cuts. The different gemstone cuts, we've got round, heart, radiant, princess, asher, cushion, pear, emerald, oval, and marquise. Marquise? Alright, now that all my melt and pour has hardened, I simply am going to be creating corners on these pieces of melt and pour. And where there is a corner, I'm going to create new corners. And that's basically how I'm going to be making my gemstones. Very simple. There's nothing perfect about what I'm doing or precise, but there is my method there. Why are we even attracted to gemstones when they are quite a useless thing, if you think about it? They are merely decorative. Well, if you ask this question to a group of psychologists, they have come up with a few reasons. First of all, the color. We as humans are attracted to different colors for different reasons. Here we got our bentonite clay. And bentonite will be our first layer. Then we got our rose clay. Also, the rarity of them. Scarcity triggers an emotional response in most people. I'm kind of breaking the fall because the bentonite clay isn't perfectly hardened yet, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. If something's only available in small quantities, we assume it's more valuable. Next, we got our French green clay. And then there's also the sparkle and shine to gemstones. I thought this was interesting, that psychologists suggest that the glistening radiance of gemstones remind us of water, and our love for gems is simply part of our survival instinct. Okay. Next is the Mediterranean red clay. And then finally, durability and longevity. Gems have been around since the beginning of time, and they will continue to last way beyond our lifetimes, which holds a fascination to us. Finally, our kaolin clay. And I should have broken the fall on this, but that's alright. Didn't want to wait. Wasn't concerned. The layers of the earth are not in perfect symmetry. Neither is the layers of my soap. Now I'm simply just going to try to evenly add colors, starting with the pink, thinking about where the soap is going to be cut. No measuring was done, all guessing. And I like the randomness of that anyway. Adding some blue, and we're done. Let's cut this soap. It surprisingly took 2 days to harden up enough, and if you look, some of the soap stuck to the sides of the mold. And here we have our earthly layers and our pretty gemstones. And here is our first cut. Very nice. Simple. Got our cool clay layers and our gemstones inside. When I showed my husband the soap, his first thoughts were it reminded him of Animal Crossing. Not the newest Animal Crossing, the older ones. But I'm very happy with how this soap turned out. I think it's pretty, and I love that the only colors added to the base of the soap is just clays. You can definitely see a difference between kaolin clay and bentonite clay now that it's in the soap. When they're both dry, they almost look identical, just kind of a white or a gray white. Definitely a difference. So, viewers, do you have a favorite gemstone? I think my favorite stone is my diamond ring stone. And then rubies are beautiful. That's my birthstone. Somebody assigned it to July. But all the stones are pretty. I think they're all beautiful. If you can show me an ugly, polished and cut stone, then do it. Well, this was a lot of fun to make. Several days have passed, no discoloring. I think this was a great fragrance oil. Did my side stamp here? As with all collaborations, I encourage you to go check out everybody else's submission to the gemstone collaboration led by Glenda. Thank you again, Glenda, for leading this. You're very good at it with your informative emails and your encouragement. The easiest way to find all the other submissions to the collaboration is to click on the hashtag down below, the Gemstone Soap Collab hashtag, which creates a little playlist full of everyone's videos. I hope to be involved in another collaboration. They're always fun. No matter how simple or complicated, they're always fun. Because they make you do something you weren't planning to do. I don't know if I ever would have made a gemstone soap. Anyway, I hope you had a good time, maybe learned a thing or two about gemstones, and I'll see you for the next soap. I'll give you a hint. A state.